Hello, I see someone is there. I don't know if people will get notifications because I did an upload this morning. And I know YouTube has got certain parameters where you just upload a bunch of stuff. People don't get their notifications. Hi, baby Diamond. You're here for a live. I'm glad you're here, baby. Hi, Bonnie's Journeys. I hope everybody's doing all right today. It's really cold in Arkansas. Hi, Miss Demeanor. Hi, Bonnie's Journeys. You liked my video from this morning? Uh, I've already had quite a few comments and views. I didn't expect that. And one commenter asked me to sing more. So I don't know, y'all. Maybe you love my kitchen, BB. I do too, honey. If you haven't heard me say it before, a little bungalow was built in 1939 as a house raising by family and friends of the young couple who had just gotten married. Nothing is plumb. Nothing is square. But anyway, I'm just kind of waiting to see how many more show up. I see we got some coming in. Hi, Holly Hobby. Honey, it's very sweet of you to say that. You make an old woman feel good, honey. We may not have very many this morning. Title in the chat there may not draw very many people. I reckon I could sing you a song while we wait and see if anybody else is going to show up. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and hit that little like button for me. I'm trying to remember to ask to do that like a professional YouTuber should do. And so far, I see we don't have any mods. Thank you, Miss Demeanor. But I can pretty well mod if I need to, or I can mod one of you babies if we have to. So, you always forget. Bibi, I forget, because usually on a live, even if it's a channel I really, really love, Holly Hobby, me too. Hi, you don't know me. I don't like it either, honey, and I don't know how to fix it. I get aggravated with myself when I get snarky like I did this morning and do that upload. But I reckon once in a while as human beings, we just got to kind of let it go, you know, vent. And I think y'all are figuring out that I'm kind of creative. And so a lot of times, if I want to be snarky, I'll try to do it with comedy or High Facts Girl or with song. Like the little song I made up this morning. And that way it's kind of like the song from Mary Poppins, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. If you can make it maybe kind of funny or put it in a tune, maybe it's more palatable. And y'all, I'm just kind of like jacking my jaws for a few minutes here and see who comes and joins us. Bad behavior is bad behavior. Own it and we will understand. There you go. And I have lots of bad behavior, as you know. Classy snarker. Y'all, I don't want to show you the names signed in this. I just came in from the mailbox. And if this viewer is watching right now or you see this upload later, thank you. Y'all know on a particular live, or maybe you don't if you weren't there, I told you where I literally live, my mailing address. I'm not going to go into why right now. Well, because the people trying to dox you, why don't you just go ahead and dox yourself? I'll go ahead and tell you if you didn't see the show. If people are going to dox me, why don't I just go ahead and tell you? That way you don't have to work real hard at it. And I had viewers, and this was before Christmas, who wanted to send me greeting cards. So I gave them my address. And today, I got a Christmas card from a viewer. And she signed the name, so I'm not going to show you the inside, but I will read it to you. It says, "Lip locked no more. Always look forward to your videos. Thanks for all you do for summer." It's got hearts and then a person's name and then another name, and beside that name is a little drawn paw print, so I can only assume that Chloe is a puppy or a kitty. And of course it says, "A very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year." So, hi Jennifer. I just wanted to show y'all that. Okay. Not seeing any mods yet, and because we're going to talk about narcissists commandeering a chat room, I'm looking at you kiddos in the chat here and thinking about modding a couple of, I've got a bunch of mods, honestly, like around the world. But they're all either busy or they didn't get a notification. And as a consummate professional YouTuber, I didn't message them that we were going to go live. Hi, Renee B. How are you today? You don't know me? You're willing to wrench for me? Okay, honey, you're going to be the only one for right now. Hang on a second. Uh-oh. I'm not getting my... Honey, I'm not getting my mod thing. Hang on. I'm getting notifications that I can time you out. If I accidentally do, honey, don't get mad at me. What's going on? Y'all, I'm sorry. I don't understand. Okay, this is very strange. Let me see what these three dots say. Nope. Baby, you don't know me? Honey, I know you're trustworthy. Honey, that's not the issue. Everyone else that I've modded, all I had to do was lay my hand on your chat, or my finger, and options would come up like moderators get. And on it, it would give me the option to mod that person. That option isn't coming up. I don't know why. Yeah, Renee, I think that I can wrench myself. I'll do my best. And let's do this. Let me move this up a little bit. I don't like it cutting my head off. That's a little better. I'm going to have to get with somebody with some techno knowledge. I don't know what's going on. But let's not stress over it. Let's do this. If someone comes into our chat today and they are harassing you or bothering, hi Tennessee, Southern Hell, baby, I sure wish I could mod you. My thing isn't working. That's what I was just saying. I have no mods in here right now other than myself. My topic is how narcissists commandeer a chat room. And my option is not coming up, Tennessee Southern Hell, and I am not techno savvy. I'm going to try one more time, and then we're going to move on. But here's what I want to ask you as individuals to do. Facts, girl, it ain't funny. Y'all know that if you lay your finger on someone who is harassing you, or you just don't want to see them or hear them, hi, Esther. All you have to do is lay your finger on their chat, and you will get options to either block them or report them. I'd rather you not report them. YouTube has come out with new terms of service this month. And hi, Rosemary, Time and Crime. And I don't want to go off into that. However, part of it is the consequences of the misuse of flagging and reporting, as well as striking by creators. So, I will try to mod novelist true crime. Y'all, if you have not gone to our community tab on my channel in the last, let's say maybe about 18 hours or so, you will find a couple of videos I have shared there from a new channel from Ireland. The young man just appeared in our chat. Novelist True Crime. Y'all, this young man has got it going on. Video production, outstanding. Takes you on a walk like Michelle does. Takes us through the Irish countryside and talks about summer and matters related to her case. Dead on with his information. Asks you questions in order to provoke your critical thinking. So I want to ask you, help this young man grow. On his second day on YouTube, he was already being attacked. Let's help him grow. I've already subbed. I've already watched all of his videos. I highly recommend this young man. Okay. Now, hi, simple girl from the valley. Now, I'm going, hi, paint it black. I see a red door and I want to paint it black. Yes, Tennessee Southern Hell, and it is Hillbilly Heart who has inspired me, hi Elena's View and Jean, to do a practical application in the world of YouTube, not applying to, hi Ion Entertainment, honey, they're in chat, they're called Novelist True Crime. Ion Entertainment, I wish you would check this young man out. I will do my best to try to remember, and I'm so bad at it, Ion Entertainment. I forget to, now that I've learned how, to share links of videos that I mention in my description. But I want to try to remember today to share yours as well. There's Hybrid Pisces. Oh, we have a mod. Hybrid, my modding option isn't working. And I'm such a freaking techno dummy. Okay, so y'all, look. Hi, Kintsugi. It's pretty easy once we learn a little bit about narcopaths, which is shortened modern terminology for a narcissist, either sociopath or psychopath. Now, disclaimer, I am not a psychiatrist, a doctor. I have absolutely no qualifications whatsoever, other than being an old lady who has lived for 7 decades with relatively astute observation. Because of the nature of the career paths I have chosen in my life, it was necessary for my success in those paths to be able to recognize and interact and or respond to different personality and character patterns in human beings. So, it's easy, I think, for most of us to recognize someone with these tendencies who is a creator. But most of us watch, many of us, live streams with a chat room. Good morning, Angel P. In some cases, it is not the creator. It's a chatter. Now, I'm going to do my best to not tell you the username. I'm going to try really hard to not slip up and tell you the username. I will tell you this. Hi, Radio Gods. Hi, Indy. It is someone whose username you all know and are quite familiar with. Hi, Daisy White. Now, you know, once I get started jacking my jaws, darlings, I don't look at the chat. So if you will, first of all, let me back up here a bit and welcome you to Lip Lock No More. My name is Susan. If you're a new viewer, we've got a couple of rules. One is you are not allowed to bash other creators in my chat. If anyone will do bashing of other creators, I prefer it fall on my head and my shoulders. I don't want people screenshotting your chat and using it against you somewhere else, like a narcopath will do. Now, you're grown-ups. If you choose to do otherwise, a mod will time you out for bashing another creator. Here's the other rule. Because here on Lip Lock No More, generally speaking, we discuss hardcore subjects such as child sexual abuse, child sex trafficking, familial child sex trafficking, rape, domestic violence, domestic abuse, child neglect, and the impact of those. So many of my viewers are survivors. So is your creator. Thank you for the trigger warning, Tennessee Southern Hill. I am a survivor of child sexual abuse as well as rape as a young adult. Many of my viewers are as well. Therefore, you will not re-victimize survivors and victims in my chat. If you do, no warning, the mods will block you. Okay. Hi, Lotus Flower. But today, we're going to talk about how somebody can come into your chat room, or my chat room, or if you are a chatter, and completely derail what is going on the live stream. Now, the live stream now if you want to get a piece of paper and a pencil, I'm going to give you timestamps. If you're interested enough to go and actually look at what I'm talking about. This chat occurred on one of my favorite channels, Ziggy. Now, I know Ziggy gets some panels up there that go wild. She's a very nice, laid-back young lady, and sometimes they get up there and they bully her around and things go crazy. It's not her panels I love. It's Ziggy herself. That means that Ziggy will have people in her chat who think they can bully, or, in this case, make the chat all about themselves. I will try to remember to share the link to this particular show on Ziggy's. The title of her show was Tim, a.k.a. Sandman, a.k.a. Jimmy, a.k.a. Media Manager, so on and so forth. I believe the program was night before last. Today being Thursday, I think it's January the 6th. Now this particular live runs, I believe, about 6 hours and 41 minutes. So at 2 hours 25, now in chat, okay? At 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 28 seconds. 2:25:28. Now, up to this point, mind you, Ziggy has been talking about summer and related issues to summer, greeting her chat, interacting with her chat, and the chat is flowing nicely. Then at this 2:25:28, someone steps into chat. This is a direct quote, and it is the first chat from this person in the chat. Quote, "What kind of drama is going on in chat about me?" End quote. Ziggy verbally responded something like, "Nothing," or "Nothing I've noticed or seen," or "What do you mean?" or something like that. Now, mind you, this is what Ziggy's been paying attention to chat. Two commenters reassure this user, or two chatters, more or less they hadn't seen anything. Okay. At 2:28:00, so less than 3 minutes later, while chat was continuing to flow about summer, this person asks, "Are there comments being deleted about me?" What does that do? That distracts Ziggy from what she's talking about, because Ziggy cares about her chat room. So for a moment or two, Ziggy is distracted in discovering that, to the best of her knowledge, no chat has been deleted regarding this user. At 2:31:21, this person announces that they had just left Doug's live. I guess that live ended and they needed to come over to Ziggy's to get some attention. Yeah, that was at 2:31:21. At 2:32:39, now mind you, during all of this, Ziggy is continuing to talk about things like this that I'm about to name, and so is her chat. Her chat is staying focused on what Ziggy is saying as best as they can. And here's what Ziggy and chat were talking about. They were having a little bit of gossip about maybe there was a troll. They stayed on the topic of summer. They talked a little bit about Benny Keys. A little bit of general gossip in that regard, not much. They talked about other YouTubers. And they talked about Oakley Carlson. They talked about Summer's photographs. Y'all get the picture, right? Let's go back up to timestamps on chat. At 2:32:39, this user accuses one of the mods of being on the dark side. Guess what? Ziggy stayed focused on her topic. So did her chat. Oh, well, that didn't work. Couldn't get their attention with that one. So at 2:46:31, "14 minutes waiting." This user, in all capital letters, says yes. So I scrolled back up to see what did that person was talking about something to do with summer. But this user, in all capital letters, yes, wants that other chatter to know, look at me, I know the answer. "2:48:39, quote, they are." Same scenario. "Look at me, I'm an insider, look what I know." Riddle, riddle, riddle. So, at 2:50:50, now this person's starting to get some attention in the chat room. And what I jotted down was not the quote, the attitude. The attitude was, finally, I can make it about me again. Because it took 25 minutes of me working this chat in my narcopathic manner to finally get these people in this chat room to not talk about summer, to not talk about who has the rights to use Summer's pictures and under what circumstances, to talk about little Oakley Carlson. At 2:50:50 in Ziggy's chat, finally, I got their attention. And now what happens? The chat turns from Summer and Oakley Carlson to oh, poor me. At 2:52:05, a portion of the quote. All about us and our children. It's all about us and our children. The entire was probably what we would call a paragraph long, filled with histrionics and hyperbole. Danger, danger, danger. Ratchet up. Let's ratchet it up. Okay. Now, 253.39, at 253.22, and then 253.39, now we get some good interaction going. Because now we have an ally in chat. We can bump it up some more. And that person at 253.39, what is their quote? The username that I'm talking about, that I consider to be a narcopath, says, she tried to tell you, talking to the chat, almost 1,000 people. She tried to tell you. At 254.58, we get two broken heart emojis over Meth Mountain. At 256.01, a chatter says, or this user I'm talking about responds to another chatter, has for, in capital letters, months, ellipsis, fact. Look how important I am. I'm going to stop with timestamps. Oh no, let me do this one. I got one in a little box down here I need to interject. At 2:44:18, we hear Ziggy on her live say, Ziggy says, I just got a message that, quote, there are negative things being said about redacted user in the chat. So it wasn't enough for the user to, for all of these minutes, work it. I've got the chat's attention, but I don't have the creator's attention. But I do have her phone number. So I think I'll just text her so she can call out live on air. I'm being harassed in her chat. You know what happened? The chat stayed on Oakley Carlson. I started getting the feeling the chat was getting a little tired of it. And by then, so was I. I felt in those moments, minutes, I had accomplished what I wanted to find out. Finally, and then I'll hush about this part. At 2:59:59, another user says to the unnamed user that I consider to be a narcopath, quote, the cops have got to be in on it. Talking about Summer's disappearance. The cops have got to be in on it. By the way, the time lapse between Ziggy announcing that she had received the message there are negative things being said about me in the chat. That was 2:44:18. At 2:45:03, less than a minute later, Ziggy moves on. Her chat stays on her topic, which was how? About what? How to get a package to this person. I didn't watch the other 4 hours. This is how a narcopath, if you're a creator, this is how a narcopath, if you are in a chat room, flounces in and immediately begins with negative energy. Chafe and redirect, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. It's up to you as chatters whether or not you want to interact with that. Are you watching me or any other creator because you're interested in what we have to say? Because you support our channels, even on the days we say things you don't like? Are you there to give love, support, encouragement, thoughts, ideas to the other people in the chat room? Or are you there to create a problem and make the chat about you or another creator? Or what the fuck? So, in my little bitty skimming the surface practical application of what Hillbilly Heart has been talking to us about on her beautiful channel, in regards to narcissists and the impact they have on us as individuals as well as a society, and in this case on YouTube, and more importantly, the disappearance of Summer Moon Utah Wells, missing from her home since June the 15th of 2021, from 110 Ben Hill Road in the Beach Creek community near Rogersville, Tennessee. Summer will be 6 years old on February the 4th, if she is still alive. When she went missing, her head had been shaved and her 2 front teeth were in extreme decay. She was 3 feet tall and approximately 40 pounds. We are told she was wearing a pink shirt and gray pants, likely barefooted. We don't know, we being YouTubers, we being chatters, and law enforcement, TBI, has a lot of theories, but no answers. Was there an accident that was covered up? Was the baby abducted by a known or an unknown? Did the baby wander off? There's evidence to support all of those. There's also evidence that breaks those theories down. There is more than $70,000 in a reward fund at Civis Bank in Rogersville, Tennessee. Summer Wells Reward Fund. If you know anything, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem to you, about this baby's disappearance, I beg you to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. 1-800-TBI-FIND. If you look at a billboard in that area showing this baby's face and who you contact with your tips, you see a website on there, thewellsfamily.com or some fucking shit like that, you don't contact them. They have no authority to accept any tips regarding Summer Moon Utah Wells' disappearance. None. If you have a tip and you get a hold of those people, is it going to go to TBI? Is it going to go to FBI card? Is it going to go to Hawkins County Sheriff's Department? Roll the fucking dice. All right. I will show you down here at the bottom. Well, I don't want to show you because I got names wrote here. Way down here at the very, very, very bottom, I wrote 2 words. Fuck this. I'd seen enough. So, if you want to know who that narcopathic chatter is, please go over to Ziggy's video and look at the timestamps I gave you. Then we'll talk about a spade calling a spade a spade. All right, baby dolls. Thank you, Hybrid Pisces, for sharing Ziggy's. Hi, Sweet Pea. Kitsugi, you spent coffee. Hi, Southern and Sassy. Baby, there's a whole list of them, Southern and Sassy. Hi, Moulin Rouge. How's things in Nolans? Hi, AP. Yeah, Kitsugi, I'm sorry I'm picking up my nose. It felt like I had a booger on the end of it. There's that painted black. Every time I see your name painted black, I think of the Rolling Stones. I'm an old lady. That song was really popular when I was a teenager. Hi, Sherry. There's a strong possibility of that, Sherry. Hi, Queen Heidi. I just love you too, honey. It's hot and going to be 30 tonight in Nolans. Hi, Marie. Hi, Official Brain Freeze. Oh, you weren't expecting... Kintsugi, you know a cuss. Honey, you know that it's just... And I don't have Tourette's or... And not that I'm not making... I have a friend with Tourette's. I'm not making... Please don't take that wrong. Maybe if you have time, put the timestamps in comments or description. Okay, all right. I can run down the timestamps again. And I'll try to remember to put them in description. Okay? Here we go. 2:25:28. 2:28:00. 2:31:21. 2:32:39. 2:46:31. 2:48:39. 2:50:50. 2:52:05 or 05. It's a number, not a letter. 2:52:05. 253.39, 254.58, and 256.01. I love you too, Becron. Y'all, listen here now. Thank you, Rosemary. Whether you want to believe me or not, it's your choice. I love everybody. I don't like everybody. And I've told you this before. Regardless of what Merriam-Webster's dictionary may say, here's how I look at it. Take it or leave it. Hate is not the opposite of love. Selfishness is the opposite of love. And I don't have a selfish bone in my body. Not one. Therefore, I can honestly say, I love everyone. I may not like them. I may not like what they do, what they say. But it does not mean I hate them. And it also does not mean that I would not wish the best for them. And that includes Donald Wells and Candace Bly. Regardless of what they may or may not be guilty of. I do love them. I just can't stand them. Okay. We're at 47 minutes, babies, and I try to do my best to not keep you over an hour. Many of you have small children. Some of you have teenagers. I tried to time it today, and it's like 11:30-ish here in my time. Thank you, Sherry. But I don't like to keep y'all. You have other things to do. Other creators you want to watch. So let's do our story. Fair use disclaimer. Copyright law 1972, section 107. Allows for teaching, research, just burped twice. Satire. Go read it if you want to. Section 107 says I can read out of this copywritten work to you. And our book, now our story's going to be a little, hi Grand Dragon. Yeah, baby. Incapable of empathy. And we also know, speaking of incapable of empathy, here again, I'm not qualified. When I look at Candace Bly, I see fetal alcohol syndrome. If you research fetal alcohol syndrome, you will see that one of the symptoms is inability for empathy. As my 2 cents worth. It's okay. Back to our story. This is from a book called Politically Correct Bedtime Stories by James Finn Garner. It is published by Macmillan Publishing Company of New York in 1994, and the copyright is held by Mr. James Finn Garner. Now, y'all, here's why, and the regular viewers know. There's a twofold reason that I end my lives with either a short little cute story, an uplifting poem, something funny. Because we talk about some kind of nasty stuff over here. And I don't want to leave you in a bad mood if I can keep from it. Now here's another thing, if you're new, that you don't know about me. I'm not politically correct, if you hadn't figured it out. My viewers have heard me say this, a number of times. I'm not politically correct. I don't approve of politically correct. I don't agree with politically correct. I don't encourage politically correct, nor do I ever intend to become politically correct. I'm 70 years old, and I was raised by a widowed mother of 4 children who taught me and my older siblings, I'm the baby, you call a spade a spade. And you learn to do it for yourself, because when push comes to shove, there ain't nobody else going to do it for you. So, that's why I ain't politically correct. Now, let's read what Mr. Garner, his version of Little Red Riding Hood. Now, I told you there was a twofold reason. The second one is this. Generally, with these stories, I'm going to ask you to listen, and you insert whatever characters from the Summer Wells disappearance case that you wish, and find your moral. Also, they're really funny. Oh, looky here. Can y'all see? There's a pencil mark. Let me tell you a real cute, quick story, if y'all don't care, before I read. Hi, Sleuth Mom. Years and years ago, in the early 90s, I purchased an entire set of beginner reading books by Dr. Seuss, and like the Berenstain Bears and those things, for my first granddaughter, who's now in her 30s. She was about, well, she wasn't in school. She wasn't in kindergarten yet. So, no older than 4. And she had come up from where Mama and Daddy were stationed at Fort Stewart, Georgia. My son was in the Army. And she had come up to Arkansas to spend 2 weeks with Grammy and 2 weeks with Mimi, her other grandma. And then I'd take her back down. Well, I'd got her all these books. Now, on the front page was that little section that says, this book belongs to, and then there's a line where you write the child's name. So, because I was going to present them to her during her visit, I hadn't written in them yet, and even though she was little bitty, I wanted to try to teach her how to print her name. So, I wanted to use this book belongs to section for that. So I sat her down, I opened the book, I had a pencil, and I started writing her name. And this little 4-year-old says, Grandma! Grandma, we're not supposed to write in books! I tried to explain what I was doing. It was not okay. We don't write in books. I said, honey, who taught you that? She said, you did. Fast forward about 5 years. Babies are out of the Army. They're coming home to Arkansas. Well, they hadn't got them a place to live yet. I had a big house at the time, and I was single, living on my own. So, my son, my daughter-in-law, and by this time, I've got another granddaughter. She's still in diapers. Well, come and stay with me, get settled, because he was transferring over into National Guard, and they knew where they were going, but they had to find, you get the picture. So they came and lived with me for, about 3 weeks or so while they were getting things lined out. And while they would be gone during the daytime, Mama and Daddy, they left the 2 grandbabies with me. So I had this book in my bathroom. Bathroom reading. I'm in another room, and I hear the oldest granddaughter, who by this time is, well, I said fast forward 5 years. That's too far. I think she was in the 3rd grade. And the second granddaughter is still in diapers. And I hear the older one say, "You're not supposed to write in books." Well, the second granddaughter, the one in diapers, was in the bathroom and she had a pencil, and here's what she was doing. She was, hi, Brandy Bradford. She was marking in Grandma's book with a pencil, and her older sister was saying, "We don't write in books." And baby dolls, the one book that I started to print that baby's name in to teach her how to write her name still only has the first 3 letters of her name. Because Grandma taught you, you don't write in books. All right, let's read us a story. Little Red Riding Hood. This one's a little bit longer than we're used to, but since we're just now at an hour, I'm going to go for it. There was once a young person named Red Riding Hood who lived with her mother on the edge of a large wood. One day her mother asked her to take a basket of fresh fruit and mineral water to her grandmother's house. Not because this was women's work, mind you, but because the deed was generous and helped engender a feeling of community. Furthermore, her grandmother was not sick, but was rather in full physical and mental health and was fully capable of taking care of herself as a mature adult. So, Red Riding Hood set off with her basket through the woods. Many people believed that the forest was a foreboding and dangerous place and never set foot in it. Red Riding Hood, however, was confident enough in her own budding sexuality that such obvious Freudian imagery did not intimidate her. On the way to Grandma's house, Red Riding Hood was accosted by a wolf who asked her what was in her basket. She replied, "Some healthful snacks for my grandmother, who is certainly capable of taking care of herself as a mature adult." The wolf said, "You know, my dear, it isn't safe for a little girl to walk through these woods alone." Red Riding Hood said, "I find your sexist remark offensive to the extreme. But I will ignore it because of your traditional status as an outcast from society, the stress of which has caused you to develop your own entirely valid worldview. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must be on my way." Red Riding Hood walked on along the main path, but because his status outside society had freed him from slavish adherence to linear Western-style thought, the wolf knew a quicker route to Grandma's house. He burst into the house and ate Grandma, an entirely valid course of action for a carnivore such as himself. Then, unhampered by rigid traditionalist notions of what was masculine or feminine, he put on Grandma's night clothes and climbed into bed. Red Riding Hood entered the cottage and said, "Grandma, I have brought you some fat-free, sodium-free snacks to salute you in your role of a wise and nurturing matriarch." From the bed, the wolf said softly, Come closer, child, so that I may see you. Red Riding Hood said, I forgot you are optically challenged as a bat. Grandma, what big eyes you have. They have seen much and forgiven much, my dear. Grandma, what a big nose you have. Only relatively, of course, and certainly attractive in its own way. It has smelled much and forgiven much, my dear. Grandma, what big teeth you have. The wolf said, I am happy with who I am and what I am, and leaped out of bed. He grabbed Red Riding Hood in his claws, intent on devouring her. Red Riding Hood screamed, not out of alarm at the wolf's apparent tendency toward crossing, but because of his willful invasion of her personal space. Her screams were heard by a passing wood chopper person, or log fuel technician, as he preferred to be called. When he burst into the cottage, he saw the melee and tried to intervene. But as he raised his axe, Red Riding Hood and the wolf both stopped. Hey, just what do you think you're doing? Red Riding Hood said. The woodchopper person blinked and tried to answer, but no words came to him. Bursting in here like a Neanderthal, trusting your weapon to do your thinking for you? She exclaimed. Sexist! Speciest! How dare you assume that women and wolves can't solve their own problems without a man's help? When she heard Red Riding Hood's impassioned speech, Grandma jumped out of the wolf's mouth, seized the wolf chopper person's axe, and cut his head off. After this ordeal, Red Riding Hood, Grandma, and the wolf felt a certain commonality of purpose. They decided to set up an alternative household based on mutual respect and cooperation, and they lived together in the woods, happily ever after. Y'all decide who the characters are and what the moral is. We're lagging badly. I'm going to unplug you, though. Look at your chat for a moment before we say goodbye. Hopefully, I won't totally freeze. Renegade Patriot, you're coming at the end. Did the wolf carry his head around? Lordy mercy, I hope not. Oh, that book is a trip. I know, Paint It Black. I love Mr. Garner's take on taking those old fables and making something entertaining, and because I don't like politically correct, I like it because it hi, Jack of all trades. It's nice to see you here. I've seen you in Scott H's chat room, I think. It's nice to see you here at Lip Lock No More. Okay, that's all I got for you babies today. You caught this story, Renegade Patriot. Well, you know me and my kooky sense of humor by now. Kintsugi, I love that book. I told y'all before, when I worked for the Department of Parks and Tourism for the state of Arkansas, we had the traditional drawing at Christmas time of names, and one of the ladies that worked in the offices there for me for Christmas. Who's Louis Grizzard? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the name. And y'all babies, if you're new, I do apologize that you have to look up my nose. I have really poor vision because of sclerosis, and because of age, I'm getting cataracts, and these are progressive bifocals, and in order to see your chat, I literally have to tilt my head back. Who is Louis Grizzard? Tell me right now, or I'm going to have a conniption fit right here on the floor. Do y'all want to see an old granny woman have a conniption fit? Do you even know what a conniption fit is? We have them down here in the South all the time. You don't have to be a baby to have a conniption fit. Yeah, I am a bit of a comedian, honey. I'm one of those that, I got to put my jacket on. Hang on. Jack of all trades. I'm one of those that, generally speaking, I find humor to be a very good medicine. In my personal life, humor and music have cured many, many ills. Editorial comedy. And Jack, if maybe you weren't here for me talking about why I do that. I don't like to leave my viewers on a sour note, if I can keep from it. Like yesterday, when I left probably just about everybody traumatized. Off. All right. Louis Grizzard was an equal opportunity offender as a newspaper columnist. I should know that name. I mean, I retired I've done a lot of things in 70 years. Well, I didn't work for 70 years, but I mean, I spent a lot of time in the news world. And hi, Prissy Missy. And I don't know that name. Is it somebody, is there stuff on YouTube about him? I'm looking for my cigarettes if y'all wonder what I'm doing. Is Griffey here? Hi, Griffey. Hi, Lena's View. If I didn't say hi to you. I'm trying to keep it up here where I'm not cutting my head off. What y'all do with my cigarettes? Where's Mama's cigarettes at? Why didn't you tell me you laid them over here? Shit, fired, save matches. What am I going to do with you? All right, I'm just looking at your chat to see if there's anything that y'all... Drop my lighter, hang on. Ooh, oh my gosh. Oh. I squatted. Y'all are lucky you didn't have to come through my phone and pick me back up. Okay. Pardon me. Drone Diva, quit laughing. Quit laughing at me. Hi, AC. How you doing, babe? I love you. You're waiting on snow, Prissy Missy? If I drop one more thing, I am going to shit a brick. I hope you're enjoying looking at the siding on the house. I just thought I'd sit here and talk to you until we freeze up or hell freezes over or... Where's it snowing? I want snow. Who, you got a new mic and headphones too? Go ahead and make me jealous then. I thought you loved me. Hang on, I got a light. It's snowing in Kentucky. There's a when I got up this morning, let me look around and see. No, it's all gone now. When I got up this morning, the roofs, the roofs had like sleet on them. And it's cold. I think it's, well, yeah, I can kind of see my breath, so it's kind of cold. But we're not getting any precipitation. You're supposed to get 3 to 5. You know what, y'all? If it's gonna, I know a lot of people don't like snow, but if it's gonna be cold and gray like it is today, shoot fire just soon there be some snow on the ground. I'd like to build me a snowman. It's snowing in Tennessee. Anywhere, if it'll snow close enough to Memphis, it might make it up here my direction. You know, I'm in, it's 14 degrees. Holy moly. I think it's probably about like 28 or something here. You're in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and still no snow. But y'all know what? Now that I stop and think about it, I don't know what it is here in Arkansas, but a lot of times we don't get a real good snow till, oh, I don't know. Quit calling me. Idiots. Spam risk. We don't usually, if we're going to get a snow, it's usually like around Valentine's Day. I've even known it to snow here up until March. Mississippi, freezing rain, no snow. My husband's family lives in Star City. I've never, isn't that down by Magnolia? Is that near Magnolia? That picture I sent the other day is nothing. You should see it today. We're buried. Y'all, if you don't know our Maud Carey Bishop, she's told us in chat, so she won't care if I say here. She lives in Washington State, very near to Canada, and she's been sending me pictures. Oh, I want to go out there and make snow angels in that snow. Who's wishing you had snow, honey? It's so hard for me to see your names in this light. Tennessee Southern Hell, me too. And we also get, in North Dakota, it's minus 20. Oh, shit, fire and save matches. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jerk y'all around like that. Minus 20? Holy shit. That's insane, y'all. I can't even imagine how cold that would be. Now, I was, you know, I've told you before, I'm a little bit country and I'm a little bit city, because I was born in Kansas City, Missouri. But my family was from Arkansas, my mom and daddy. So there was some going back and forth in there. And then after Daddy died in 1958, we just came to Arkansas because that's where family was. And then later on in my life, I went back to Kansas City, blah, blah, blah. It's a long story. Graduated high school up there, so on and so forth. But in Kansas City, Missouri, you get some freaking snow and ice now. So, you know, I learned to drive in snow and on ice, and so I get around real good in that kind of weather. But most of these people that's actually born and raised and learned to drive down here in Arkansas, shit far you don't want to get on a road with them are driving on the snow. Next thing you know, you're in Texarkana? Drone Diva, are you in Texarkana? I just made an ass of myself, looking at y'all instead of what I'm doing with the cigarette. Drone Diva, I don't know why I thought you was a Tennessean. All right, darlings. That was enough cigarette for me, and it's pretty chilly out here. And we've been on here an hour and 16 minutes, and so we'll close out like this, because somebody asked me to sing. I had a friend named Gambling Bob who used to steal, gamble and rob, and he thought he was the greatest guy in town. I found out last Sunday, old Bob got locked up Monday, and they got him in the jailhouse way downtown. He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. Now I told him once or twice, quit playing cards and shooting dice. He's in the jailhouse now. He played a game called poker, pinochle, whist, and euchre, but shooting dice was his greatest game. Now he's downtown in jail, nobody to go his bail. The judge done said he refused to fine. He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. Now I told him once or twice, quit playing cards and shooting dice. He's in the jailhouse now. Yodelady, yodelady, yodelady. I went out last Tuesday and I met a little gal named Susie, and I told her I was the greatest game in town. Well, we started to spend my money, and she started to call me honey, and we took in every cabaret in town. We're in the jailhouse now. We're in the jailhouse now, and I told the judge right to his face, I didn't like to see this place. I'm in the jailhouse now. You're the lady, oh, the little lady, oh, oh, little lady. And obviously I cannot yodel. I love you guys. And I will see you on the flip-flop. And as always, I will willingly waste my breath and your time to ask you to behave yourselves. I'll see you on the flip-flop. I love you. If I can say goodbye, come on. It won't get off. Turn off.